Hello and welcome to Yoga with Delaney, founder of Happy Meets Healthy. I am so excited to take you through a gentle yoga class today. And this class is from level beginner to advanced. It is all grounded, so all of our postures will be getting into a deep stretch and a slow breath. So give yourself some support if you need it. If you are a beginner, I recommend having a block or two and a bolster, a pillow, or some kind of cushion. Not necessary though. And we will get started today on our backs. So put on your favorite yoga tunes. I will recommend some Spotify playlists that I have to add to your practice or routine, and make your way to your backs. We're going to start in Shavasana, your favorite posture. So Shavasana, feet out extended, heels onto your mat, palms facing up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, in and out through your nose. Not trying to change your breath necessarily at this time, but just noticing it. Notice if it has texture, if it has depth, is it shallow? And as you begin to tune into your breath a little bit more, scan your body from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Checking in with yourself. It is so important to check in with ourselves every time you step onto our mat. Not trying to judge or change. Maybe you scan for any tension. Tension physically, emotionally, mentally. And when you find a space that's holding some tension, send your breath there. With each inhale, allow that space to flush out any of that tension. Creating space around it, and on your exhale, let it go. In this class, we will be practicing a slow, deep diaphragmatic breath in and out through your nose. 3 to 4 second inhales, 3 to 4 second exhales. Soften your eyes if they've opened. Reduce the furrow in your brow. And melt your shoulders down into the mat. And ask your body what it needs today. What do you need from this yoga practice and being on your mat? You create the space and the energy every time you step onto your yoga mat. You choose what kind of energy and what kind of space that you are creating. So take a few breaths here, just grounding yourself, setting any intentions. And if you would like to begin to move, we're going to bring the bottoms of our feet to the edges of your mat. Bottoms of your feet to the edges of your mat, and your knees fall together. So feel your low back press into your mat here. Firm through the bottom of your feet. We're going to start doing slide windshield wipers. So bringing your legs, your knees towards the right on the exhale, and then inhale towards center. Exhale towards the left. Inhale, center, and just keep that flow going. You're not trying to bring your knees to the floor. Beginning to breathe into your low back. Deep, slow breaths. This is not a race. Once you finish your left side one more time, bring our knees to center as you hug them in. And there's a difference here between hugging your knees into your chest and pressing your knees into your palms. So feel that difference here. Hugging the knees into the chest, maybe you make small circles with your low back, rock side to side. And then notice the difference when you press your knees into your palms. Your low back is still deep into the mat. And then rock side to side here, make small circles. Slight difference, a little bit more engagement. Take a few breaths in whichever one feels best for you. Eyes are still soft. Find ourselves back to center, and we're going to extend our left leg up towards the sky. So left leg comes up. We're going to bring the outside of our right ankle to the top of the left thigh. So you're going to make a figure 4 with your legs. Your arms come in and around to grab behind the back of your left leg, or if you would like to bend your left knee, your hands can clasp around your shin. Take a deep breath here. You're never trying to push or pressure anything. Just let your breath do the work as your body naturally gets into this stretch and expansion. You should feel this in your right glute. Actively pressing your low back into the mat. Slow, deep breaths. Inhale for 3 to 4. Exhale, 3 to 4. If you ever need to adjust your posture while you're breathing into it, that's totally fine. Adjust as you need. If you'd like to take this posture further, you can bring your right elbow onto the inside of that right thigh to press your right knee away from you. This is going to allow for a deeper stretch in the glutes and also for a deeper stretch on the inside of the groin. Let's take one more deep breath here. On your exhale, bend through the left knee and you have the bottom of your right foot up. We're going to tuck our left hip under as the bottom of your right foot comes towards the floor. So your right knee is up, your left hip is down, and your left leg might be extended or bent. Allow your shoulders to sink deep into your mat. Your hands can come to a goalpost or maybe a T. Gaze goes over your right shoulder. If this feels good and you'd like to take it further, you can always give a gentle press to that right knee to bring it away from you. Slow, deep breath. Find one more exhale. Inhale, we'll bring it back to center. Shift your hips to where your low back presses down deep into your mat, bringing your knees together again. This time we're going to extend through the right leg. The outside of the left ankle comes on top of your right thigh. Again, creating that figure 4. Bring your arms through and around to the back of the right leg or to that right shin as you bend your right knee. Stay here, actively pressing that low back into your mat. As you actively press, feel that length in your left glute, maybe even up to your hamstring. Breathe here. Remember that our inhales are creating space wherever we hold tension. So if you feel some tension in that left glute, bring your breath there. Inhale as you create space in that area, releasing that tension. Exhale, allow it to completely let go in your system. Calm and rooted. One more breath. Your eyes are still softened. Then we're going to do the same on this side. So you can extend through the right leg or keep it bent. We're going to bring the bottom of the left foot down onto the right side of you. So you're going to tuck that right hip under as the left foot plants down onto the mat or the floor. Arms to a T or a goalpost. Gaze over that left shoulder if that feels good in your neck. And before you take any posture further, feel the first modification, and then if that feels good, you can press that leg away. One more slow, deep breath. Bring our knees back to center. We're going to grab the outsides of our feet here. So if this is too much for you, you can grab the backs of your calves or even go for your ankles, but you're bending through the knees to bring them in towards your armpits, coming into happy baby. So the outsides of those feet, again, press that low back into your mat. You can sway side to side or stay neutral. Depending on what time you're practicing. Good morning, hamstrings, good afternoon, good evening. One more exhale, 3 to 4 seconds, guys. Hold on to that breath. Then release the bottoms of your feet to your mat, about hips width distance apart here. So hips width distance apart, you might be able to feel your Achilles here or your heels. If that seems too far away, that's okay. You might have little T-Rex arms like me. Sometimes I can't reach things. So an option here, you can come up into a regular bridge or you can come up into a supported bridge. I will show you both ways. The regular bridge, so you're going to press the bottom of your palms into your mat or clasp them underneath your glutes. So the clasp for me is a little bit easier. You can shimmy your shoulders underneath, pressing into your forearms, and that clasp, you're lifting your hips up towards the sky. Engage through the glutes. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling. Deep, slow breaths. If that doesn't work for you today or that seems like too much, I want you to grab your block, your support. And you can bring your block to a bed, which is the lowest setting. This is a toaster, which is the medium setting, or the highest setting, which is a tower. So bring it down to a bed, the lowest setting, and underneath your perineum, your low back, and set it right there. Allow your palms to reach up towards the sky. If you are in a regular bridge, you can come down vertebrae by vertebrae, take a moment, and then come back up into a bridge once more. If you are in supported bridge, you can stay here, or if this doesn't feel like enough of a stretch, you can bring your block to a higher setting. Adjusting as you need. Our low back holds a lot of nerves, so be gentle, be kind. Deep breaths. Breathing vertically, so up and down. Feel your breath open and expand your lungs, creating space around your heart. And on the exhale, bring it all the way down through your feet. Imagine yourself as like a clean pipeline, starting from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Any worries, stresses, anything you need to let go of goes in and out of that pipeline. Just let it go. If you're in a regular bridge, come back down again slowly, and you'll go back up one more time. So regular bridge, you're going up for 3. If you're in this supported bridge, just stay here for a few more breaths. Find your last exhale, and if you're in regular bridge, release down vertebrae by vertebrae. If you have a block, bring the block out from under you. Just bring it to the side of your mat. Bring your low back down, and grab your knees. We're gonna make some small circles, so out and in. On your inhale, as you expand them out, exhale, bring them in. You can go out first, and then in, and then switch directions after about 3 or 4 times. Slow and steady. So again, 3 to 4 seconds with each movement. There's nowhere for you to be, nothing else for you to worry about. Holding this space for yourself. On your last one, we'll bring our knees into our chest, and we're just going to do a slight rock back and forth, taking your time, coming up into a seat. So we'll find our seat in the center or top of your mat, and find a seat that works best for you. So I feel comfortable with my legs crossed. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, you have a block. So you can bring that underneath your sit bones to bring your knees lower than your hips. That might feel good for that extra support, tall spine. You can also come onto your shins and your knees and support yourself with your block here. See what feels good. When you arrive to a seat that feels comfortable for you, take a moment there. Breathe into that seat. Let go of any expectations, any judgments in any way that your body is moving or is not moving. And one more exhale. We're gonna plant our palms on our knees. We're just gonna do a few seated cat-cow. So on your inhale, you bring your chest forward. Shoulder blades slightly tuck in. Exhale, navel to spine, round it out. Expand through your shoulder blades. Inhale, open. Exhale, back in. Inhale. Feel your sit bones rooting, whether you're on a block or a seat or on your mat. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Now we're going to take it in some circles. So on the exhale, you could go counterclockwise or clockwise. Inhale as you come up towards the top. Exhale as you go back. Navel in towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, still firmly rooted into your mats. Once you've gone about 3 times in one direction, switch sides. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Perfect. We're going to bring our arms up towards the sky, lengthen, and take a twist towards your left side. So your left hand is going to come down behind you, root it deep into the mat. If you're on a block, you might want to come off. This might be a little tricky if you're on a block. And your right hand is on your left knee. As you press into the earth with your left palm, you're taking a gentle twist towards the left, gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe a slight bend in your right elbow. Be gentle, be kind. That left hand is like a kickstand, allowing you to expand through the crown of your head. So staying active here, again, navel to spine. You'll hear me say that a lot, reminding you to engage through your core. Let's take one more deep breath. Exhale, slowly release it. Back to center, and we'll switch sides. So left hand, right knee, right hand behind you. See how this twist feels first, just gently going to the right, and then you can go a little bit further by bending at your left elbow. Gaze over that right shoulder if that feels good in your neck. Tall through the spine as you press your fingertips into the mat. Deep twists. These twists are really fantastic for digestion. So if you're feeling a little backed up, just twist your body a little bit, helps your intestines start to move. Also drinking lots of water. Exhale, release it back to center. Perfect, guys. We're gonna take a side bend. So we're going to inhale up towards the sky. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Exhale towards the left. Seated firmly through your glutes. Don't let them lift up as you extend towards your left side. One full breath here. Inhale back to center, switching grips. So now you're grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale towards the right. Beautiful. Feel that length in your left side body. Inhale, come back up to center, and we're gonna take this a little bit deeper. So left hand plants on your mat. See how this feels first. You also have a block. We're gonna inhale, extend our right arm up towards the sky. If you'd like to take this further, you can bring your forearm down to a block or your forearm down to your mat. So notice here how I'm active through my fingertips, and feel that line of energy from your fingertips all the way down to your glutes, actively grounding you into the mat. If this feels good in your neck, you can lift your gaze up towards the sky. And you're creating space not only in your right side, but your left side too. So if you feel like you're crunching too far down, that's where these blocks come in handy. Notice that extension. Exhale, we'll come back to center, switching sides. So right palm or right forearm, see what feels best to you. Root deep, rise up. Left arm towards the sky, active fingertips, and deep, slow breaths. Can you hear your own breath? Can you feel it slowly expanding your lungs? Tuning into all of our senses all the time. One more breath. And then exhale, come down. Fantastic. So depending on the way your legs are crossed, come down to crisscross applesauce, or if you like a half lotus or full lotus, up to you. We're gonna inhale. Your left or right leg is in front. It doesn't matter which one it is. We'll switch it after. We're gonna inhale, arms up. Exhale, I want you to teepee your hands. When I say teepee, I want you to come up onto your fingertips, making teepees with your entire palm, hand, etc. So notice how this feels here. You might already be feeling it in your left or right glute, depending on which leg is in front, and that's perfect. You can stay right here. If you'd like to go further, walk your hands away from you. If this is too much in your back, you can always grab a bolster here. Pull it in half. The folded part goes towards you and it can support your torso. What I don't want here is like tucking turtles. I want you to expand and lengthen through your heart. Imagine that there's a string attached to your heart, attached to maybe wherever this video is or to the front of the room. Like right now, my string is attached to my phone, which is recording this video. So I'm lengthening and expanding as I'm folding, so we're staying active. This is gentle yoga, but we're still engaged through muscles. Notice the muscles that have to stay engaged here while you are lengthening and expanding, getting deep into the fascia. Take one more breath. If you'd like to, you can go a little bit further in this last breath, taking it as far as what feels good to you. Ideally allowing a block to come underneath your forehead if you make it this far down. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands slowly back to you, lifting your head and your heart. And we're gonna switch sides. So that right leg comes in front or left leg, vice versa, just switch it. And we'll inhale, arms come up. Exhale, you come to a teepee. Now notice this side might be different. You might be holding more tension in your left or right glute here, or it might be easier. Just smile into the differences without judgment, and then begin to walk your hands forward. You have your bolster, you have a block for your forehead, or even bringing that underneath your mat to support your chest. Find what feels good to you guys. So lowering slowly, deep 3 to 4 second inhales, 3 to 4 second exhales. Still expanding and lengthening through your heart and the crown of your head. One more breath. Inhale, slowly walk your hands back to you on that last exhale. And we're gonna make our way into a tabletop position. So a tabletop position here, coming forward, hands and knees. So your shoulders are over your wrists, your hips are over your knees. Moving my bolster. And we're gonna go through a few regular cat-cows here. So feel the texture of your mat underneath your fingertips and the tops of your feet. On the inhale, drop your belly, gaze lifts, heart comes forward. Exhale, rounding out through the spine, navel tucks in, chin to chest, pressing into your fingertips here, guys. Inhale, expand, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more exhale. On your next inhale, we'll meet neutral spine. We're going to walk our hands a little bit further away from us. You can bring your knees a little bit further away too, and we're going to come into puppy pose. So if this feels like it's too much for you, you can grab your bolster and bring it along your mat like so. Or you can try this out. Your hips are going over your knees as your chest comes down to the floor. Chin is on your mat or maybe your forehead. You are expanding through the front of the body. Again, if this is too much, you can always bring a bolster underneath your chest. Hips are above your knees. Expand through your fingertips. Release in. One more breath. Slowly come back up. Bring your hands back towards you. You can shake it out, wiggle your hips side to side if that feels good. We're going to bring our right arm up towards the sky. So right arm up towards the sky, active fingertips open through your chest and the fronts of your shoulders. Exhale, that right arm is going to come down underneath in between your left wrist and your left knee. You're coming to your right shoulder. Your right temple comes to the floor. If it feels too far away, you can bring a block underneath that right temple. Your right arm is extended out and your left palm or your tent of your left hand is supporting you here. Deep breaths. This might be a lot in your shoulder or it might not be. If you would like to go further, you can bring your left arm around to your low back to come onto your right hip crease. Deep breath here. You can soften your eyes, soften your gaze. If you'd still like to take this further, you can come up onto your left toes, and you're going to put a little more weight onto your right shoulder. If you're comfortable where you're at, stay there. There's no pressure in taking anything further. Your fullest expression of each posture is perfect. One more breath. And we'll plant that left hand down if it's not already down. And we'll inhale, right arm rises. Open, expand. Exhale, release it back down to your mat. We're coming back down into a tabletop. You can wiggle it out. And we're gonna inhale, left arm rises now. Expand. Exhale, bring that left arm underneath, coming onto your left shoulder and your left temple. Again, bring a block underneath your head if the floor feels too far away. See how this feels before you go any further. And if you would like to go further, that right arm comes around your low back to tuck onto your left hip crease, or you stay exactly where you're at. Deep breaths into your shoulders. If you'd like to go even further, you tuck your right toes. This also you can feel a extension in your calf here too. Only doing this if you feel comfortable. Exhale. I'm going to plant that right hand. Inhale, left arm rises. Open, expand. And bring it back, tabletop. Wiggle it out. Woo. And we're gonna come into a child's pose. So there's two different types of child's poses. You can bring your knees out wide, big toes together. As you bring your hips towards your heels, arms out in front of you, forehead reaches towards your mat. If that doesn't feel good or if that's too much, you can always bring a block on top of your heels to rest your glutes on. You also have your bolster or a block. There's also child's pose with knees together. So knees together, sending your hips back, and your arms go by your side, palms face up, your shoulders melt into your mat as your forehead comes down. Take your fullest expression of this posture, guys. So hip or knees out wide or knees together. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. Forehead on your mats. My forehead is not on my mat, so I can talk into the phone. But allow yourself to release. One more full breath. Inhale. We're going to come back up into tabletop. We're going to do a swimming child's pose. So now that our hips are a little more open from a few different postures, and now we know where our child's pose is at, I'm going to take you guys through a swimming child's pose. So that right arm is going to come back towards your glutes. We're going to inhale as we reach it up towards the sky. So we've been here before, opening through the chest. Exhale, reach that right arm forward. As that right arm comes forward, your hips go back towards your heels. Child's pose only for a moment. As we inhale, left arm comes back up towards the sky. You're still on the inhale. Exhale, reaching forward. Hips come back. Inhale, right arm. Open the chest. Exhale, extend forward, reach. Hips come back. Keep that up, guys. Inhale, left arm. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale, reach. Inhale, left. Exhale, reach. One more time, both sides. Inhale to your fullest extension of this posture. Exhale. One more time, left side. And bring it in. Fantastic, guys. We're gonna come into a dancing camel. So on our inhale, we're going to bring our right arm to our low back. We'll start here. We're gonna come up onto our shins, onto your knees. If you have knee problems, you can always fold your mat. You can always double your mat to come underneath your knees or use a blanket. So my right arm is on my low back. My left arm is reaching up towards my left ear as I take a twist towards the right. So left bicep near the left ear, twisting towards my right shoulder. Being gentle and kind here, active with the left fingertips. Exhale, engage through the core. We're gonna shift this left arm down to our low back here. Inhale, right arm rises. So now we're twisting towards the left now. Exhale, engage as you come down, lifting yourself back up with your core. Right arm or right hand to low back, left arm rises. If you'd like to take this posture further, you can bring your right hand down to your calf or your heel, creating more space in that left side body. Exhale. Coming back down. Left hand wherever it feels good. Inhale, expand. Exhale. A few more times, guys. Take it through your fluidity of your breath. If you'd like to stay in one side a little bit longer than the other, go for it. This is your practice, and you can always pause this video or come back to it. One more time, each side. Exhale, coming down into a tabletop again. We're gonna make our way onto our bellies. So bring your knees back, coming onto the belly. Make a pillow with your palms and just rest one side of your head and the other. Sway your hips back and forth to allow your belly to fully release into the mat. Hips sink in. Deep breaths. On your next inhale, you're gonna bring your arms out, extending on each side. You're coming up into a teepee with your fingertips. On your inhale, we're gonna come up into baby cobra, so gently opening through the heart and the chest. Exhale, back down. On your inhale, your neck stays extended, so your heart's coming up first, and then your head. On the exhale, same thing, heart goes down, forehead then to mat. Inhale, heart up, head follows. Exhale, back down. Keep this fluid movement going. If this is too much in your back, you can just stay on your belly. 2 more times in this little cobra flow. We'll meet on our inhale at the top. On your exhale, you're gonna bring your left shoulder down towards your mat as your gaze goes over your right. Exhale. On your exhale, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right shoulder down, gaze goes over your left. Your hands are still in a teepee. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left shoulder down. We're gonna take this through one more time on the right. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. And then on your exhale, you're gonna keep this left arm extended out, so perpendicular to the long edge of your mat. And we're gonna bend through the right knee. Your right hand is supporting you on your mat or on the floor. We're gonna shift onto our left hip. So we're opening up in the front of the left shoulder as the bottom of your right foot comes towards the floor on the right side of your mat. Again, forehead or your left temple reaches down to your mat or a block, and support yourself here with your right hand. Feel that openness in the left shoulder. If you would like to take it further, you can bring your right arm around your low back, or you can go for the bind with your left hand. Notice what feels good to you. Deep breaths. I know this posture is a lot. Exhale, slowly come back to your belly. That right arm extends now. So right arm is out perpendicular to your mat. I know you can't see mine, but my right arm is extended. Left hand is supporting you. You're coming onto that right hip as you bend your left knee. Bottom of the left foot comes down. Your right temple releases. So staying here is perfect. I'm feeling it right now. If you'd like to take it further, this is where you take the binds either to your low back or your right hand. Navel is still tucked in towards your spine as you deeply breathe. Soften your gaze. Let go of any attachments that you have of getting to a certain area of your posture. You are perfect where you are. Exhale, slowly come back to your belly. And we're gonna come onto our forearms. So our fingertips reach towards the top of our mats. As we come onto our forearms, our shoulders are over our elbows. So we're in a Sphinx pose. To be safe with the low back here, this might be intense. Gaze towards your navel. As I do this, notice my belly comes up a little bit, chin towards your chest, gaze towards your navel. Feel that line of energy from the crown of your head all the way down through your heels. And if this feels good and your low back is strong, you can keep bringing your gaze forward just slightly. Your belly might go down a little bit, only if your low back feels safe. If that's too much, just keep your gaze towards your navel. 2 more deep breaths. And release it down. We're going to bring our left forearm parallel to the top of our mat. So left forearm to the top of parallel to the top of your mat. Give yourself some space. And we're going to bend through the right knee. Press into your left forearm as you take a twist towards the right, grabbing the top of your right foot. If you don't get there, that's okay. You can grab for a strap if you would like, or some kind of string if you have it around your house. Gently, you're bringing your right heel towards your right glute. If it doesn't make it there, that's okay. Like I said before, you're not trying to pressure anything. Your gaze can go over your right shoulder if that feels good in your neck. 1 more breath. Exhale slowly without snapping it. Release your right foot down and switch sides. So now right forearm comes down to your mat, bending through the left knee, pressing through your forearm as you take a twist towards the left. Grab the top of the left foot as you gently bring it in. Right leg is extended on the top of the right foot. Deep breaths. Gaze can either be down or over your left shoulder. Hello, quads. Exhale, we'll release that left leg. And we're going to tuck our toes, press into your palms, and we're going to come into that tabletop position again. You can sway side to side. We're gonna bring our hips up and back into a down dog. This might be your first down dog of the day, first down dog ever. Either way, it's perfect. Maybe you already went through an hour-long power flow today, I don't know. But tuck those toes. And if you are new to yoga, you can keep your knees bent as you bring your feet back. The key to a down dog is your weight is not in your wrists. A lot of people like to put all the weight in their wrists. Your hands are spongy, so notice here, my fingertips are spongy. There's space underneath my fingers. Your gaze is in towards the center of your thighs. And again, if you need to keep a slight bend to your knees, that's totally fine. You're trying to descend your heels into the mat. It's okay if they don't get there. Feet are about hips width distance apart, and you should feel the length and the stretch in the backs of your calves and the backs of your thighs. Pressing firmly from the bottoms of your heels all the way up to your glutes. Navel in towards your spine. One more breath. Exhale, bring your knees back down to the mat. And we're gonna shift our weight onto our backs. So make your way onto your backs here. We're gonna come into a few yin postures. So bring the bottoms of your feet together. Bottoms of the feet together. I'll face the camera here. So bottoms of the feet together. And the further you bring your feet towards you, the more you're gonna feel it on the insides of your hips. The further away you are, so like more in a diamond shape, you're gonna feel it more so in your back or in your glutes. If this is not comfortable and you need some help, you can bring your blocks underneath your knees to help support. And we're gonna inhale, open the chest and the heart. You can stay here with the support of your hands around your shins, or arms come up, lengthen. Exhale, teepee the hands, walking them to or away from you, forward fold. Again, we're extending through the heart, lengthening, not turtling out. There's an option here too, guys, to use that bolster. You can tuck it in half to allow some support, again, with your chest. You can always bring your thumbs onto the insides of your feet. So open your feet like a book and pressing your elbows into the insides of your legs to bring them further down. You might be here for a few breaths, so allow yourself to settle in. Close your eyes, focus on your inhales and exhales. Once you've found your space, you can slowly start to tuck your chin in, still long through the spine. Deep diaphragmatic breaths, being patient and loving towards our bodies. They do so much for us. If you can bring your head towards your feet, you can always bring a block on top of your feet, allowing your head to release down onto the block. Heads out in space don't feel good. Take 2 more full breaths in this posture. We'll inhale, slowly come up, heads and hearts when you're ready. Vertebrae by vertebrae, allow it to begin to stack. No rush at all. If you'd like to take a few more breaths in that posture, please do. going to bring our legs out wide. So bring them in the shape of a V. I'll scoot back a little bit so you can see. So your legs are in the shape of a V here. And we're just gonna go a little bit deeper on the insides of our thighs, getting into our hamstrings, maybe even your calves. Notice here how I have active toes. So my toes are facing up towards the sky. There's a difference here, and then you can release your toes or keep them activated, depending on what kind of posture you would like to get into. So we're gonna inhale, open. Exhale, teepee the palms, begin to walk forward. You have your bolster or your blocks. Sink in. You can always grab your feet if you'd like, but once you find your fullest extension of this posture, release. So let those toes come down, maybe palms face up. Head is resting on something. Deep diaphragmatic breaths. Inhale with a purpose. Exhale, grounding you deeper into your practice. Few more breaths. Inhale slowly. Bring your head up. Awesome. We're gonna shift over towards our left leg. So bring your right hand in the center of your mat or the floor, shifting your hips over towards the left and begin to fold. Option here to bring that bolster on top of your left leg or just fold deep. Lock can come onto your shin to rest your forehead. We're here for 5 deep, slow breaths. Inhale, lift your head and your heart gently, walking your hands back, and we'll switch sides. So reaching towards the right leg, gentle twist with the torso. Find your support, whether that's a block or your bolster, and begin to fold in. And notice here if any attachments come up. My left side is not as flexible as my right, so it's harder for me to come down all the way, but that's okay. It does not matter. You are listening to your body and respecting it. Your fullest extension of this is perfect. Your body is thanking you with every single inhale and exhale. Few more breaths. Slowly, gently come back up. We're going to do some counteracting of this posture. So we've done a lot of folding forward, and we want to open up too. So first thing we're going to do is bring your palms behind you, fingertips facing towards you, and inhale, open through the heart and the chest. So you're bringing your shoulder blades together, pressing in, opening the heart. Neck can release if that feels good. Exhale, bring it back. We're going to clasp our hands together, press the air away from you as your navel comes in towards your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, open. If you need to bring your legs back together, you can do so here. Exhale, hands clasp, press the air away, navel is engaged. Inhale, open. Exhale. One more time, guys. And inhale. Awesome. So we're going to come into our last posture, which is a spinal twist. We actually started class with a version of this. So we're going to come onto our backs, knees into chest. You can grab a block if you'd like some support. Knees into chest, hug it out. And there's some options here. You can keep your legs together as you tuck under your left hip and allow your legs to fall towards the left side, arms at a goalpost or a T. Gaze over your right shoulder. If you'd like to take it further, bring your right leg over your left. Again, tucking under that left hip slightly to where your right knee comes towards the mat. I want to emphasize here, it doesn't matter how far your legs go down, if they touch the floor or they don't. If it helps to bring your shoulders to melt down on your mat, bring a block underneath that right knee. Shoulders firmly rooted, gaze over that right shoulder, right shoulder. Deep breaths. We'll be here for about 5. How slow can you bring your breath? Two more. Bring it back. Knees into chest. If you'd like to stay there for longer, you can go ahead and do so. We're going to switch to the right side. And either you bring your left leg over the right or just allow those legs to fall. Using that block underneath that left knee if needed. Arms to a T or goalpost, gaze over your left shoulder. Really trying to press those shoulders into your mat. Release your body, melt in. Two more breaths. Bring those legs back to center. And before we go into Shavasana, if there's a posture that feels good to you, a way in which your body needs to move, do that before we surrender. So it could be happy baby, could be waterfall or Halasana plow pose, shoulder stand, something grounded and rooted. And bring your legs in circles, figure 4, some of the things we already did. If you want to go back to it, go for it. You can always pause the video and do that. If you're ready, bring your heels to the edges of your mats, arms by your side, palms face up. If you'd like a little bit of support, you can bring your bolster
underneath your knees, underneath the backs of your knees, just for a little extra love. Palms face up towards the sky. Release, guys. Release it down. One more deep breath. Exhale, let it go. I encourage a Shavasana for 3 to 5 minutes. So we're going to take probably 3 here. Soften your eyes and your face. Release your tongue from the top of your mouth. There's no need to look at the screen. I'm in Shavasana just like you. Guide yourself through this meditation for the next few minutes with your breath. Begin to come back to your breath. Wiggling through your fingers and your toes. Arms up over your head, full body stretch. Knees into chest, hug it out. Last time here, give yourself all the love and gratitude it deserves for this body that does so much for us, a body that allows us to move. And then fall onto your left side body. Just let the earth catch you and hold you. Slowly, with eyes still closed, come to the top of your mats, hands at heart center, and legs crossed. We'll take 2 deep breaths together. Our inhale will be in through our nose, 3 to 4 seconds long, holding for 1 breath, or holding for a second, and then exhale out the mouth slowly for about 5. So let's inhale, hold, exhale, 1 more time, inhale, hold, exhale. Thank you for allowing me to lead you through your practice. Always an honor to hold this space for others. May you go about the rest of your day and this week honoring your body, listening to what it needs, always inspiring a greater health, living your truest passions, and wearing your soul shamelessly with strength and grace. Namaste. Thank you for joining Gentle Yoga. A reminder, after this class, drink lots and lots of water. Mwah.